How's it going, everyone? We are coming up on the summer, and traditionally speaking, the summer is usually a bit quieter of a time for new game releases. However, this summer's got quite a bit of stuff, and I'm sure there's going to be more stuff that will be announced, but in this video, I want to highlight some of the new PS4 and PS5 RPGs that are dropping this summer. Remember, summer, I consider it June 21st until September 21st, so that is the range I'm going with. And then, as is the case with gaming, games can get delayed, and as I mentioned at the top, new games can get announced. You guys get the deal. We've got a total of 9 RPGs to go over, so let's get right into it. By the way, a combination of both Western and Japanese RPGs. But let's start off with Shadowrun Trilogy, coming to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. This is one that's been out on PC for quite a while and has been pretty popular across all 3 games. That includes Shadowrun Return, Shadowrun Dragonfall Director's Cut, and Shadowrun Hong Kong. Now, with these games, you can expect some tactical RPG gameplay, but at the same time, these games are very much narrative focused. There's a lot of reading, a lot of writing that you do have to digest, but overall, from my experiences with the PC releases of these games, it was a very, very enjoyable game, especially if you're a fan of the setting, that cyberpunk setting. That's going to be right up your alley. The game is priced at $39.99. However, if you're a PlayStation Plus subscriber, it will be $29.99. So if you're a Plus subscriber, that's really where I think the value lies. I think $40 is a bit pricey, especially because these games are readily pretty cheap on PC, but at $30, I actually think it's a pretty good pickup. This one is going to be out the day summer starts, June 21st. Next up, we have a game that I personally am very excited for, and I know a lot of you guys have been looking forward to it for quite a while, and that is Digimon Survive. This is a game that's been announced for a long time, saw some delays, saw some development worries, honestly, but then we had a new announcement drop. July 29th, Digimon Survive will be dropping, and this is a lot sooner than I had expected, and a lot of people were thinking, hey, this is going to get pushed to 2023, it's not looking good for this game, but things seem to be coming together, and hopefully development has progressed pretty smoothly. And if you're getting into this game, what you can expect is some tactical RPG gameplay, but also a visual novel style of story experience, and this game is going to be very, very narrative heavy as well. So if you're wanting to get into a Digimon game with an emphasis on the story, and what has been noted is a little bit more of a mature story, I think this one is going to be right up your alley. The game notes celebrating the 25th anniversary of the Digimon anime, Digimon Survive presents a brand new adventure set in a mysterious world with characters designed by Uchi Ukumo and music by the much-acclaimed Tomoki Miyoshi. Digimon Survive sees a brand new group of teenagers led by Takuma Momozuka get lost on a school camping trip, finding them transported to a strange new world of monsters and danger as they fight their way back home. Through an animated world of difficult decisions and deadly battles, players' choices throughout the game will impact the evolution of their monster allies, and the final ending. Battles in the game are fought in 2D in a more classic strategy RPG style. If you're a fan of Digimon, I think this is going to be right up your alley, and it does warm my heart to see Digimon get a little bit more love across, all entertainment mediums, gaming, anime. Hopefully this is a nice comeback for Digimon, especially over here in the West, and we see some consistent video game releases as well. Digimon Survive is scheduled for release on July 29th. Next up, we have the latest game coming from Spiders, the developers of Greedfall, and that is Steelrising. Steelrising is a pretty interesting alternate history game. Paris, 1789, the city is in the grip of terror. The revolution has been suppressed with bloodshed by Louis XV. The revolution has been suppressed with bloodshed by Louis XVI and his merciless mechanical army. It falls to Aegis, an engineering marvel, to take on the king's ranks of automatons and change the course of history. Yes, as far as a premise standpoint, incredibly unique, and from a gameplay standpoint, it notes dynamic and challenging gameplay, engage in ruthless and intense fights against technological marvels that are as complex as they are unforgiving. Your nerves and skills will be tested to their limits at every moment spent battling these relentless enemies and epic bosses. Paris is your playground. The City of Light has been plunged into darkness and is in need of you. Use your energy, flexibility, and tools to navigate the streets, rooftops, neighborhoods, and castles of Paris and reveal hidden secrets. A fascinating story rooted in history as well. Delve into an enthralling alternate history filled with formidable mechanical enemies and potential allies with questionable motives. You are the only one you can count on to untangle the knots of history and ensure the revolution succeeds. Steelrising is going to be out on September 8th. Next up, this is one that I think a lot of you guys are unaware about, but as you learn more about it, I think you'll get pretty excited for it, and that is Temtem. This game has been in early access on PC for quite a while. Going back to the beginning of 2020, it's a massively multiplayer Pokemon-style creature collector type game. Temtem is a massively multiplayer creature collection adventure. Seek adventure in the lovely airborne archipelago alongside your Temtem squad. Catch every Temtem, battle other tamers, customize your house, join a friend's adventure, or explore the dynamic world online. There's a lot of elements to this game. Not only is there the creature collection component, the battling component, but there's going to be a lot of customizability, housing, everything like that. And with the full release, some new content is going to be added. Now, the game is priced pretty hefty at $45. It's a premium title, so bear that in mind. But if you're a fan of Pokemon-style games, if you want something of that sort on PlayStation as well, and you want something that is online, I think Temtem is going to give you that in spades. Temtem is scheduled for release on September 6th. Next up, we have a PlayStation 5 upgrade that I want to mention, and that is Hellpoint. Now, Hellpoint initially came out back in July of last year. It's an intense action RPG taking place on Irid Nouveau, a derelict space station soaked in an intoxicating dark sci-fi atmosphere. Fight dreadful creatures, face the cosmic gods, and unravel their twisted story. Should the challenge be too great, play with a friend in local or online co-op. Of course, this is more of a Souls-like action RPG, so know what you're getting yourself into. Expect a bit of challenge here. You've got a massive interconnected world full of mysteries, hidden passages, and secrets within secrets, all for you to explore in any order you like. More dread and shivers await you as you travel deeper into the darkest corner of this forsaken colony. Dozens of melee and range weapons, a fascinating new sci-fi universe reminiscent of classic sci-fi movies. The game didn't have a super positive reception when it initially released. Hopefully the upgrade on PlayStation 5 leaves something that we can sink our teeth into, but Hellpoint's PlayStation 5 upgrade is due out for a release on July 12th. Next up, here's another pretty interesting release. We got SD Gundam Battle Alliance. SD Gundam Battle Alliance is a multiplayer Gundam action RPG where you can smash foes solo or with friends in thrilling mechanized combat, acquire new mobile suits, power them up, and take them into battle in various missions. Of course, I know a lot of you guys are probably big Gundam fans. Obviously, SD Gundam a little bit different. In SD Gundam Battle Alliance, mobile suits and characters from across Mobile Suit Gundam history take center stage in an action RPG. The story takes place in G-Universe, a world where Gundam canon twists and turns in ways no one can predict. You correct the course of timeline and make sure everything pans out as it's supposed to happen, and you'll be able to utilize a variety of different mobile suits along the way. SD Gundam Battle Alliance is scheduled for release on August 24th. Next up, another major JRPG release here. Coming from Atlas, we have Soul Hackers 2. Yes, Soul Hackers is getting a sequel. I think this is something that a lot of people did not see coming, but man, this game is shaping up nicely from a visual standpoint, from the looks of its gameplay and story. Looks like it has quite a bit of depth. The game notes a story set in the midst of the 21st century, a little further in the future from now. Demon summoners live in dark societies and harness the supernatural powers of demons, and Aeon, a being that watches over the world, detects the world's forthcoming ruin. Now, with Soul Hackers 2, you can jump right into this game and have an enjoyable experience, but do expect something that has an emphasis on a darker narrative and something that is incredibly engrossing from a story standpoint, but the gameplay looks solid as well. We'll see how Soul Hackers 2 ultimately turns out, as the release isn't that far off. The game is scheduled for a release on August 26th. Next up, another JRPG, this one of a more quirky sort. We've got Disgaea 6 Complete Edition finally coming to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Oddly enough, Disgaea 6 initially had a release only on the Nintendo Switch, which was a little bit interesting just because Disgaea has always been kind of entwined with PlayStation, but now Disgaea 6 will finally be coming to PlayStation 4 and 5. The Disgaea series continues its legacy. Meet Zed, a zombie that has risen above from them all, except one, a god of destruction. While Disgaea has never been blow away from a visual standpoint, Disgaea 6 does have a little bit of a visual uplift, and once again, expect an incredibly quirky game, a little bit of comedy, but also it can be incredibly challenging. Disgaea 6 Defiance of Destiny unites a grim yet touching story with insane tactical combat while introducing gameplay elements never before seen in previous installments. As a result, new and returning players alike can craft a truly memorable yet unique journey through the Netherworld. Bring the pain in battle with special attacks and support from a plethora of ally units, and you've got a variety of customizable settings that can tailor the experience exactly how you want. You've got auto, retry, and replay that allows both seasoned Disgaea veterans and more casual newcomers to enjoy the experience. Disgaea 6 Complete is due out on June 28th. And lastly, here's an action RPG that's going a little bit under the radar, and that is Thymesia. Thymesia is a grueling action RPG with fast-paced combat and an intricate plague weapon system. In a kingdom where death spreads, play as a mysterious character known by the codename Corvus, prey upon your enemies, wield the power of disease, and find the truth in your own memories. Once again, this is another darker action RPG. Harness the plague, seize the disease from the gruesome bosses, and wield them as weapons. Give them a taste of their own medicine. Embrace the raven, shift into your raven form during battle, throw your feathers like daggers, and execute enemies with the swiftness of a raptor. And shattered memories, recover your memories through adventures with different choices you've made and items you've collected. You'll get different endings, stitch together your own truth. Thymesia is, again, a game that's going a little bit under the radar. It's coming to PlayStation 5, and it's due out on August 9th. And that is gonna do it for me. Again, we've got a batch of new RPGs coming this summer. As always, with gaming, games can get delayed, new games can get announced and turn around a release date very quickly, especially when you're talking about things of like ports, potential remasters, things like that can turn around releases very quickly. But that's gonna do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.